Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers for a World in Crisis. Today, Sadhana, Part 3. From the Mother. The whole life is a sadhana. It is a mistake to cut it into bits and say this is sadhana and that is not. Even your eating and sleeping should be a part of sadhana. To someone returning to the West, everything can be a part of sadhana. It depends on the inner attitude. Naturally, if one lets himself be invaded by the Western atmosphere, farewell to the sadhana. But even in the most materialistic milieu, if one retains one's aspiration and one's faith in the divine life, the sadhana can and should continue. 1970. Question: is there any difference between the answers "you may" and "if you wish"? I think that when you answer "if you wish," it means that you don't like it very much. Is it so? Mother: if you wish obviously implies that there is a risk that the consequences of what you want to do may not be very good for your sadhana. But also that perhaps you are not yet ready to make the progress necessary for you not to do what you would like to do. 29 May 1933. Question: what do you think about the love between Y and me? Mother: only the love that is based on the divine presence can remain unmixed and present no obstacle to the sadhana. 17 January 1934. Mother: I thought you were using the word ghosts to mean vital entities. Those beings are certainly not the ones who can help you in your sadhana. Question: isn't it undesirable if Y sometimes talks to me about his sadhana? Mother: as long as you do not give him any advice, it does not matter much. As a general rule, however, the less one speaks about sadhana, the better. 6 March 1935. It is certainly not sadhana that stands in the way of inner peace. On the contrary, for the sadhana is based entirely on this inner peace, which is the essential condition for progress. To enter into contact with the psychic consciousness, a patient concentration is indeed necessary. 14 May 1935. Question: I am turning more and more towards study and giving less attention to my sadhana. I do not know whether this is desirable. Mother: it is all right. Study can become part of sadhana. 8 December 1936. Question. My dear mother, would it be desirable to become intimate with Y? Mother. For sadhana, any intimacy is certainly undesirable. Question. I would like you to tell me something about my sadhana. I need to know. Mother. From the spiritual point of view, it is not good always to be wanting to know whether what one is doing is good, whether one has made any progress, what point one has reached, etc., etc. It is yet another opportunity to satisfy one's ego by drawing attention to it. 27 September 1938. Mother, it seems to me that apart from the work at the building service, if you feel like studying, it would be better to read Sri Aurobindo's books seriously and carefully without hurrying. This will help you more than anything else for your sadhana. 9 March 1941. Question. Mother mine, sometimes I am translating stories written by various people both in the ashram and out of the ashram. If I want to send them to press, may I do so? In these days it would be inconvenient for thee to give approval on each one. Does this literary work help me in my sadhana, or is it a hindrance? Mother. You can do this translation work occasionally, but not to the extent of getting absorbed in it. The consciousness must remain free for the sadhana. Love and blessings. 29 December 1938. Mother, for the sake of sadhana and for the sake of work, it is always better to work silently. The disciple informed the mother that he had measles and asked her blessings to cure him. He also noted that he had come to the ashram not to do sadhana, but only to work. My blessings are with you. You must take this illness as a sign that in spite of all your convictions, perhaps even resolutions, you have to do sadhana, and to add to your outer consecration in work, the inner consecration. In the integral yoga, there is no distinction between the sadhana and the outward life. It is in each and every movement of the daily life that the truth must be found and practiced. 16 March 1958. Question. Mother, once I was very much disappointed with the result of my work in the school. I wanted to give up. You said that I should work for 7 years and then ask for your advice. This year, I have finished 7 years of my schoolwork. The students enjoy my classes, but they do not like the fact that I make them work. I do my best, but fail to satisfy them. Tell me whether I have to continue. There is no dearth of teachers. There are several who would like to replace me. They think that mine is a position of prestige. Mother, try for 7 years more. We shall see afterwards. I can add that teaching, with all its moral consequences, is part of your sadhana, with love and blessings. 11 November 1965. There are two parallel things that, from the eternal and supreme point of view, are of identical importance, in that both are equally essential for the realization to be a true realization. On the one hand, there is what Sri Aurobindo, who, as the avatar, represented the supreme consciousness and will on earth, declared me to be. That is, the Supreme Universal Mother. And on the other hand, there is what I am realizing in my body through the integral sadhana. I could be the Supreme Mother and not do any sadhana. And as a matter of fact, as long as Sri Aurobindo was in his body, it was he who did the sadhana, and I received the effects. These effects were automatically established in the outer being, but he was the one doing it, not I. I was merely the bridge between his sadhana and the world. Only when he left his body, I was forced to take up the sadhana myself. Not only did I have to do what I was doing before, being a bridge between his sadhana and the world, but I had to carry on the sadhana myself. When he left, he turned over to me the responsibility for what he himself had been doing in his body, and I had to do it. So there are both these things. Sometimes one predominates, sometimes the other. I don't mean successively in time, but it depends on the moment. And they are trying to combine in a total and perfect realization the eternal, ineffable, and immutable consciousness of the executrix of the Supreme, and the consciousness of the sadhak of the integral yoga, who strives in an ascending effort towards an ever-increasing progression. Question: how is the divine the sadhana? Mother: because it is the divine who does the sadhana in the being. Without the divine, there would be no sadhana. Only you know nothing about it. You think you are under the illusion that it is you. And precisely, so long as you are under this illusion, you must make an effort. But the truth is that it is the divine who does the sadhana in you, and that without the divine, there would be no sadhana.